Hello guys, this is KTB Vlogs or TBC Production here. I'm back doing another video on my channel here. As in this video, as you see by the title, today we'll be talking about the Dragon Ball movies. So, as you know, as the last time I actually did one of these videos was back in the summertime. And of course, it's been a while since I did one, so I decided to do one here on this series. Before I get started, I already as this series is actually I'm remastering my thoughts on the Dragon Ball series discussion videos that I did in 2018. So, as you know, the first two episodes, the first two episodes. So this is episode 3. Um, those as you know them because that's when I had a fan on, and you kind of hear the fan in the background. Of course, as on this video right now, you don't really hear no fan really, not that much really, because it's kind of getting cold now, and it's close to now we into fall. So that's some reason of that, because that last video that was done back in the summertime, it was very hot. So I want to remaster this series. Of course, as you know, I already talked about I had remastered the my thoughts on the Chucky series, of course, Child's Play series, last year. And of course, as you know, this Halloween time now. I was thinking about doing something for Halloween, but I didn't really feel like it. But you know, so it kind of makes sense of like some of these videos may probably be made during the time of this season of the time or whatever like that, and all that. Of course, so that's why it's been a while since I did one of these videos. So, and plus, I like the way this recording is anyway because I'm not on the camera. As you know, I like talking like this behind the screen because this was my favorite thing when I first started to do these kind of videos. I like this kind of stuff. Like, you can see my face on the reaction videos and stuff, um, and all of that. But I like this kind of way of recording, because sitting behind a microphone and I like it. So, um, as of those reaction videos that are on TVZ production, um, as probably by now the episode 24 video is probably already out before this one, and as I'm thinking, I probably said it in that video, maybe that probably the last video that I'll do for now, as of right now, because I'll kind of take a little break from those videos, of course. As you know, it kind of makes sense because last year when I started my reaction series, I started like late in the month or so of December, and I'll take a break from those videos because I really want to work on the series, the remake series, of course, of Toys Ball Z, and that's what I want to do. So, but like those videos, it give me time to upload something for you guys to see and all that, and that's what I'll do for those. But as of uh, as I mentioned in that video, I do have a live stream planned. I might do a little story or so, whatever, like a little scary story or so, maybe. But the video is actually going to be action figure update, because I actually got some figures since since June. So yeah, I check out a lot of good figures this time, and still getting some as of right now. But maybe I'll do something like that. Maybe. But I was gonna try to get do a remaster on one of my stories, but I'm just I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But anyway, so let's get started with this episode, of course, since we're gonna be talking about the Dragon Ball movies, all the Dragon Ball movies, all the way up to the Broly movie, the Super Broly movie. So so I won't include the new movie that just released because that'll be for the episode of Dragon Ball Super. Even though I know the Broly movie is called Dragon Ball Super Broly, but as for me, guys, I have not watched the new movie. Just didn't have time to go around to watch it or so. But eventually, like, if it comes out on DVD, I'll buy it. But and as you know, like, yeah, episode of Dragon Ball Super will be probably later. It's actually just the last episode to do anyway. You know what I mean? And definitely gonna have fun with that video because, oh man, I have a lot to talk about Super, and I can't wait to make that video. Even though when I talked about Dragon Ball Z, um, yeah, I talked about the story points and all of that stuff. But with Super, I just have to think around it and try to figure out what's going on. But so I'm trying to. Pretty soon I'll get me a new chair. That's one good thing to get. Give me a new computer chair. So that's every time I move, like I can move and it creaks and stuff. And every time I move back or move closer. But yeah, so definitely have fun talking about Super. But I have not watched the new movie, so that movie won't be included in this video, even though this is about all the Dragon Ball movies. It won't be included in this video. So I know, like, or I know, I don't follow people spoiling the movie. Like, oh my god, this movie was amazing. It's awesome. It's incredible. Gohan was amazing. I mean, like, it makes sense that they want us to be happy for Gohan. And it kind of makes sense why he was the main focus of the movie. Even though I have not watched it, I already know that. It was Gohan and Piccolo. See, two characters that we don't get a lot of story with, they want more story with those characters. That's why I was talking about, like, even though Super was trying to be like that with Goku and Vegeta, like, I want to surprise you, Kakarot! I want to surprise you! And all that stuff, and that whole story moment in Z just erased from memory. But, see, I haven't watched the movie, and I already know the point there. I know it's going to mostly focus on Gohan. That's true. Alright, so, yeah, so I won't be talking about that movie in this video. I know this video will be long. I already know. I think my 1 hour moment, I think I actually fixed it. So I can actually go past 1 hour if this is how long the video will be. But what I'll be doing is talking about the story points of the movies and how how I feel about the movie and so. And I actually did go back and watch some of the old movies because I actually bought the DVD set, a Dragon Ball Z movie collection of the movies. I actually watched all 1 through 9 movies, and I do have the Broly movie, and I have Battle of Gods. Only one I did not get was Resurrection F because when I first watched Resurrection F, I mean, I didn't like the movie at all because it was just ignoring the fact Trunks killed Frieza, and they just wanted Goku to kill Frieza. But you know how my story is, of me buying the movies and stuff. So as of right now, I'm actually replacing most of my movies with Blu-ray DVD. So I will be getting a PlayStation 4. So I have a PS3. It plays Blu-rays though, but I want to get a PlayStation 4 so I can play them on better HD quality. The PS3 is HD as well, but get that full 4K HD feeling to it. Even if you put in a old movie like the Dragon Ball Z movie into those consoles, it makes the movie look HD, like fully HD, even though they say it's digitally remastered. Well, it's only digitally remastered if you put it in a console like that. All right, so I'm kind of rambling, along. But that's what I'm doing as I'm replacing most of my movies, all my movies and stuff, and that's what I'll be doing. I'm gonna replace the season 1 through 3 and get the 7 through 9. Definitely get Dragon Ball GT again, new set of that, and just replace all my movies. That's what I'll do. All right. So as for me, as for the movies here, I as you know, as we're gonna start off going through the whole series, including the last movie they released is the Broly movie, as of before the new one they just released this year. Um, like I said a while ago, that movie won't be included in this list because I have not watched it. So it's just all the Dragon Ball movies all the way up to Dragon Ball Super Broly. So that means I would include the Hero's Legacy from Dragon Ball GT, and I would include the Barda Father Goku in History of Trunks. So yeah, I'll include all the movies. Alright, so as we're gonna start with Dragon Ball here. Actually, the first 2 movies I don't really remember that well. I've never really seen them at all. It's only 2 of the other Dragon Ball movies I did watch. Actually did watch. And so let's start off with this one, the Blood Rubies. Um I don't really remember this one. I know they Goku was searching for the Dragon Balls in this one, I think. And they come along with something I don't know what they found or whatever, but I don't remember this movie at all. So I really don't. So I can't really rate these 2 movies. That's the next one, Sleeping Devil's Castle. I do remember scenes of it because Launch was in it, and it actually has story elements of like okay, like in Dragon Ball, they found Launch, Goku and Krillin found Launch and saved her from 2 police officers, of course, that of that because when she sneezed, she robbing banks and getting money and all that stuff and do all that. And so that's kind of makes sense of that, like what she is. But see, as you know, in that movie, they meet her for the first time, and of course, all that. I think Boma was in the movie too, so I don't really remember the movie that well. So, like I said, if I had rated these two, I would probably give them a 5 or 4. But I don't remember these two movies at all. The Blood Ruby and Sleeping Devil's Castle, I don't remember them that well. So that's the next one, Mystical Adventure. Definitely, I do remember this one a lot. And of course, it's, it starts off like Goku and Krillin are entering the 22nd tournament, martial arts tournament. Actually, yeah, I think they enter this tournament here, and it was in this one you have Tien and Chaozu. They were like the bad guys of the movie, kind of. Were the bad guys of this movie because you had the Crane, the Master Crane in this movie as well. Then you have General Tao and Arale. So actually, in this movie, what they did, that's what I realized, they actually combined the two story arcs from the show in this movie. So instead of having Arale battling against General Blue, you got Arale fighting against General Tao. Because I think I remembered that in Tekkaichi 3, I think. Because it's like a what if story you play in the story mode, and Arale fights Goku, and because in Dragon Ball she actually fights, she actually fights General Blue. So yeah, that's how I remember this because like yeah, there's like a what if story in that game. So see what they did, they combined the story of the 22nd tournament, mixture of the Red Ribbon Army of bits of the Red Ribbon Army, and yeah, those two story points in from the show. And of course, that means they already did the 21st tournament, and this is like the 22nd tournament. So yeah, but a different take on it though. Instead, of course, in that one, of course, Goku was fighting Tien and all that stuff. But in reality, like I said, that this movie, cause I think in this was it Upa and Boar was in this movie, and I think they were trying to get the Dragon Balls or something like that. I don't know, did Boar die in the movie or not? I don't remember. But like I said, it was like the story points of those arcs. Like they take the story points from each of the arcs of Dragon Ball and make it a movie out of it. So I remember Mystical Adventure. I remember that one a lot. So I gave it a 6. The last one, of course, of Dragon Ball is the kind of my actually is my favorite one. Is actually Path to Power, and I like this one because it's like a remastered told story of Dragon Ball, and they put two story elements together and made a whole story of it instead of having all the points of Dragon Ball's arcs in one movie. They took the whole adventure of Goku, meeting Bulma, Master Roshi, and did all that and have them go on an adventure, get Dragon Balls and all this stuff. And I think Android 8 was in this movie. And my favorite, oh my god, my favorite moment in this movie is Goku doing the Kamehameha. I mean, it was just so amazing. I mean, and I like the art style of this because it was set during the time of Dragon Ball GT. So it was pretty awesome for that. It was kind of good nod to the series of Dragon Ball. That's what I kind of like about that. Even though, as I mentioned a little bit, Dragon Ball Evolution, I know a lot of people hate that movie a lot, and I don't really care about it. So that's one thing. Even though everybody really want a live action movie of Dragon Ball, but it would never be done. It can be done, but I just let it stay as an anime. That's what it became. That's what it is. So yeah, I don't really hate that movie. Really, I don't. And it's so sad to see oh my god, that movie is so trash. It's bullshit and all that crap. And I'm like, but Dragon Ball Super is amazing though. uh, these stupid fanboys and nerds just makes me laugh. Anyway, but Path to Power was an amazing movie, and I give it an 8 out of 10. It was a great movie, and I kind of like the story of it, and it was kind of like a good retold story of Dragon Ball. It was pretty cool. I liked it. Didn't have the same art style of Dragon Ball GT, so that's why it was pretty good. All right, so as we're done with Dragon Ball, now we go in straight into Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so as this first movie, of course, Dead Zone. As story this, as Goku is spending time with his family, of course, and of course, Garlic Jr. actually wants to rule the world and take over Kami's position as Guardian of Earth and rule the world. And it's up to Goku and Piccolo in this movie team up to battle against Garlic Jr. and his minions. So, as story of this movie, as I realized that, as you know, in this one, of course, this one I always remember. It was on Cartoon Network all the time back in the day in Tsunami. And I like it how in this movie they had Gohan be like the the hidden piece to defeat Garlic Jr. And it was it's like, yeah, the hidden piece here, the hidden weapon is Gohan. And technically it's how they were doing him in this movie. And you never thought he actually is the one that defeats him. And so it makes sense why I kind of see why they put Garlic Jr. in Dragon Ball Z and made a whole season of him. And technically to me that movie was the that season that's the when he returned. Technically it was a sequel to this movie. And that's what I kind of liked about that. And even though only reason why they hate that old arc of Garlic Jr. in Dragon Ball Z is because there's no Goku. Like, there's no Goku. It's so bad. And I mean, like, well, you see, that's how you know people were crying for Goku and stuff. Like, where's Goku? Where's Goku? And all that stuff. And see, they wanted to focus on other characters besides Goku. Even though when you watch Dragon Ball Z, yeah, Goku is the main character of the show. But as you see throughout Dragon Ball Z, like I said in that video, it's basically have Gohan have his whole character. Even Vegeta was having his own character arc growing as well. Even Piccolo. So that's why I kind of like as like makes sense of Gohan and Piccolo. Like I said earlier, even though I did not watch the movie, have them have more story and character together and all that stuff, and that's what I like to see. And it don't always gotta be Goku. I mean, it don't. As of right now, as you know in my reaction videos, Um, Goku was not in a couple of those episodes of Toys Ball Z. I mean, in the remake that you just watched, the episode 17, Secret, Goku is not even in the episode. He actually gonna be in the next episode though, but he was not even in that episode. And that's why I was saying, like, I don't have to always. You always gotta be Goku. You always gotta be Goku. No, I wanted to focus on someone else, and that's technically as I see that arc in Dragon Ball Z. You know, matching them not needing Goku to save the day and have someone else to save the day, and that's what people did not like. But Dead Zone, great movie, of course. It's one of the early movies I always remember watching on Cartoon Network, Toonami, and Chuck Hubert, of course, same person that does 17 and Emperor Pilaf and Android 13. I always liked it. So, Dead Zone, I give it a 6 out of 10. All right, next, The World's Strongest. And as the story of this is that a scientist has lost his body, but his brain actually lives on. And he wants to have the body of the strongest person on Earth. And who would be that strongest person on Earth? Goku. So as I realized, as in the movie, they think they captured Piccolo in this movie and have him as like almost like a slave or something like that. And so it's up to Goku and the others to battle against Dr. Wheelo, and he has such a whole army of bio warriors and all that stuff. And they battle, and it's up to Goku to save the day. So as I realized in this movie, I think Goku did. I thought he did Kaioken. I might be right. I think he did. And I think he did Spirit Bomb. Um, yeah, but I'm probably right. Because if I'm thinking of this, like if this was set during the Saiyan saga, um, Goku did Kaioken and he did Spirit Bomb. I might be right, but yeah. So as the world's strongest, as this movie, I, as you know, started this one, it makes sense. Like, someone wants to take over, wants to have the strongest person's body and stuff like that. I think I kind of took this story point for the movie I did on my channel on TBZ production, Power of Chucky, and I kind of took that story point from this. You know, that's what I kind of did for that movie. And you know, of course, I did that during the Halloween time. That movie I did on my other channel. But yeah, as this one, that's what it kind of reminded me of. Like, someone wants the body of someone and make them stronger and all that stuff. And that's what Doctor Wheelo was trying to do in this movie. But I was kind of surprised a long time ago they actually added him in Tekkaichi 3. It was kind of shocking when I saw that. I was like, wow. I didn't know they added him. But it was pretty cool. They had mostly all the main villains of each of the movies. It was pretty cool in Tekkaichi 3. So World's Strongest, um I give it a 7. All right. So next it is Tree of Might. So as Tree of Might, of course, as this was the last movie they were playing. See, it was World's Strongest. Dead Zone, World's Strongest, and Tree of Might were the three movies they were playing on Cartoon Network back in the day, and always playing them all the time. Double, got double feature, double feature. They want us to watch those movies back in the day. Um, they probably did it for. I think they did it for Barda, Father Goku, and I think they did it for History of Trunks because if you get the DVD set, you get both movies together. So that's why they say they're TV specials. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense that you know, that's probably why they made that. But Tree of Might, as story of this, we find there's a Saiyan named Turles, and he's actually like a pirate, space pirate that go and conquers planets and get energy and draining from each of the planets he rules and destroys. And so as he discovered Earth, he has this tree. Of course, this tree called, of course, it's called Tree of Might. Makes sense why the movie's called that. And planted it on Earth. And of course, it starts draining the energy on Earth. And it's up to Goku and the others in this movie to battle against Turles and his warriors in this movie. And of course, as this movie, it reminds me of Saiyan Saga 2. It's kind of like a sequel. And as in this movie, all the Z fighters were in this movie. You had, of course, you had Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu. All of them were in this movie. And so, as I'm thinking here, it just looks like an alternated ending. I'm thinking that Goku can. They wish Goku back in time to save them from defeat Nappa and Vegeta, and maybe Goku had defeated them both easily. So it makes sense that I'm thinking like this was like an alternated ending. Like Goku actually defeated those two because in this movie he's doing Kaioken and he's doing the Spirit Bomb. So that makes sense that I'm thinking like as you know, some people conspiracy theory. This is like an alternated Saiyan saga, and if Goku defeated Nappa and Vegeta and all the others were still alive, that's technically what this movie kind of reminded me of. It's like a yeah, a Sicko X moment. And yeah, that's why I think of this, like because all of them was in this movie, and I always loved this movie. The fighting, of course, everything. It was nice. And of course, it was pretty awesome. And Turles was actually a cool character. That I never thought they would do. Yeah, he's an evil Goku. Imagine this was Goku. That's technically what Turles was in this movie. I still feel bad that SH Figuarts did the fig. I know they did the figure of Turles, but I would not pay almost $100 for him. It's not right. But you know, Every time I see that, like, their price is just ridiculous. I mean, completely ridiculous. Okay, so for Tree of Might, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. It was a great movie, and I liked it, and yeah. Okay, so next it is Lord Slug. So Lord Slug is as story. This one, of course, is a Namekian. There was a different race of Namekians that actually grow giant, and Slug actually took the Dragon Balls, got all the Dragon Balls, and wished himself younger. So he wishes himself younger, and basically took over the Earth and almost destroyed the Earth by making the Earth freeze over. Basically, hell freeze over. And it's up to Goku, Piccolo, I think Gohan, and Krillin to stop Slug. And as my favorite part in this movie, of course, is Goku turning into a false Super Saiyan. That scene always amazing to me, and I always love that part in this movie. But overall, for Lord Slug, it's like a movie I watch, but don't remember me watching it all the time. It's not a movie I always watch this movie. Like, no, it's not one of those movies. Because of course, I think Cool Revenge, uh, not Cool Revenge, Return of Cooler. It was the movie I always loved watching all the time. I always loved that movie. I even got the VCR tape, and I love it. But Slug, I don't remember me watching it all the time. I did watch it before doing this video here, and it's not a movie I always I love this movie. I remember this movie a lot, and only thing out of this movie I actually liked was Goku turns out false Super Saiyan. So as I'm thinking always of this story, it kind of reminds me it takes place during a time on planet Namek. Makes sense if Goku's doing that in this movie, because you got Gohan, you got Piccolo, and you got Krillin. And fun fact, Vegeta is not even in none of these movies until Bardock fought Goku. So it makes sense that Vegeta's not even in none of these early movies, like the first four movies. So, because you see Vegeta in Bardock Father Goku, and Vegeta's in History of Trunks, and but you first see Vegeta in a movie, Return of Cooler. So it kind of makes sense of Vegeta not here in this movie. Okay, it's like, okay, Goku's turning to this, and this has to be almost like Planet Namek time. So I'm thinking when they did this movie, it was during the time of the Frieza saga, probably. So for Slug, I give it a 5. Even though I don't hate the movie, you know, that's one movie a lot of people do hate. But it's not. It's a one I don't really care for a lot. I don't really watch it a lot of times. So. All right. So as next, we actually are going to include the two TV specials. Of course, starting with Barda, Father Goku. Of course, as this one is basically, I could put it at the beginning of the Dragon Ball Z movies before Dead Zone, but as of that, I kind of will put it here because it kind of connects to the next movie that's coming up after this one. So, story of this movie, of course, you follow this Saiyan named Bardock, who actually is Goku's father, and he had a whole group of Saiyan warriors that were working for Frieza by conquering planets for Frieza and just and all of that, and kind of realized his allies were defeated, were killed by Frieza's henchmen because Frieza basically is a fear of the Saiyans because they get stronger and stronger every time they fight, and it kind of makes sense of the whole point of why and Bardock was having visions and basically predicting his future. That in the even though he would be killed, his son Kakarot is the one to defeat Frieza once and for all. Even though they retcon all of this in the Broly movie, basically the whole story of Barda is basically so messed up. I'm like, what the? I mean, they messed up that. Now, you messing up a classic movie here. And Barda Father Goku is actually a good ass movie. I'm sorry I have to cuss for that, but yeah, it is a great movie. And you ruin his that you ruin that and retcon Dragon Ball. It's just so sad. But yeah. So for the story, Bardock Father Goku is a good movie, and I like Bardock as a character and everything. It's pretty cool. They uh, they did that and made the character be so we know who he is. That's what I kind of like about this movie. And this movie is actually pretty rare. I can find it by itself, but it's like closely to $30. But as another VHS tape probably be cheaper. But I don't use VCR tapes no more. So I'm trying to find the DVD, but I can't really find it for a good price. It's like $40, 30, and plus it's actually it's a double feature. It's with History of Trunks, and those two movies are actually hard to get, and I can't really find them at a good uh, price or so. So yeah, so Bar Father Goku, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, next is actually History of Trunks. I'll actually include History of Trunks here. So History of Trunks is basically the story of Trunks, who's actually the son of Vegeta and Bulma. And basically, as in a future timeline, of course, the androids that actually are created by Dr. Gero. And of course, Dr. Gero is actually part of the Red Ribbon Army. And basically destroy the whole world and everything. And the Z Fighters were getting killed one by one. And then Goku dies of a heart virus and everything. And then it's up to Gohan and Trunks to save the future and save the people from the android's wrath. So for this movie, is one of the ones I love to watch all the time. Gohan getting killed in that movie basically always makes me very, very sad. Like I actually did feel like I was going to cry because seeing Gohan getting killed, I'm like, oh my gosh. Even though I love Android 17, I do like Android 17, but I mean, that scene always, and of course, that's most iconic scene always from that movie. Trunks turned to a Super Saiyan will never be out. Will always be a good point of the movie, and even though in the end of that movie, of course, is Trunks basically basically needs to become basically will learn the truth and try to figure out to stop the androids and everything. And of course, that as this movie basically it's like the prologue to the Android saga, basically. And so you now know the story of Trunks. So this movie, great movie as well. Just like I said about Barda and Father Goku, they actually are very. These two actually are the rarest movies to find. To me, they actually are, and always a good movie to watch. And it will never be. As you know, I feel bad what Super did to Trunks anyway because this messed up his whole story moment, his arc, and everything. It just ruins him. Ugh, so wrong. So here's your Trunks, 8 out of 10. All right, next is actually Cooler Revenge. So continuing with the movies, of course, that's why I decided to include the two TV specials first. So before we get to the next movie, so Cooler Revenge, of course, as in the line of movies, actually number 5 of the movies because we already reviewed one. I already reviewed that song and Lord Slug. So Cool Revenge is actually number 5. So in this movie, as we find out, Frieza actually has a brother, and it's shocking that they show a scene of Bardock at the beginning of this movie. So it kind of makes sense that it kind of connects to Dragon Ball, then going to the Namek, Frieza saga, and everything else. So yeah. So as you find out, Frieza has a brother named Cooler, and he actually wants revenge against the Saiyan that defeated Frieza. So he decided to go to Earth. Actually, as the next choice of that, and leads to it's up to Goku and his friends to stop Cooler and save the Earth. So overall, for this movie, I actually like this movie as well, and I like the music in this movie. The rock band in this movie is so awesome. I love listening to that song every time it plays. I mean, it's so cool, and that's how you know you're a real Dragon Ball Z fan. You play uh you playing the soundtrack from an artist in the movie, just like Pokemon. I mean, Brother My Brother. It's like a memorable song, and that's what this movie felt like to me. So when I listened to that song playing when Goku you ready to turn to a Super Saiyan, I mean, it's just so amazing. It's just so cool. Um, but as you know, is this my favorite movie? No, it's actually the sequel. Return of Cooler is actually my favorite one. But I definitely like Cooler's transformation in this movie. Of course, it's pretty cool. And I'm glad they got a figure of him actually like that. So I'm very happy they made that. I couldn't believe it that Dragon Stars made that figure. I mean, it's just so awesome. I mean, it's just perfect. I mean, yeah, this figure is amazing. You should get that figure. No, but yeah, like his, it was a good movie, of course, and And it's kind of weird. There's no Vegeta. Like I said, it's just so strange. But actually, in this movie, I always as Cool Revenge to me, I think this one is actually canon. You know, 'cause it kind of reminds, as you know, it's set right after Trunks told them about the androids, and it makes sense if it was set during the time frame of the that time frame of the Android saga before the androids showed up. So that's why I'm thinking of this movie. It's actually set during that time. So yeah, I got scratch, guys. All right, so Cool Revenge. I give it a 7. It's like I don't hate the movie. Like I said, guys, I don't hate the movie. It was a good movie to watch. Of course, I love the soundtrack of the movie. I mean, so great to listen to all the time. I mean, amazing. So, next, Return of Cooler. As in this one, of course, it was a giant computer like being or creature forming across of the new planet Namek, and the Namekians are getting attacked by it and everything, and all this, and it's up to Goku and his friends to go to Namek and save the Namekian people. And surprisingly enough, when Goku gets to Namek and you see Cooler, and that's what makes the movie surprising. And of course, I love they fight in this movie. I like the part when Piccolo and Gohan and Krillin are fighting together. Kind of reminds me of how they were when they were trying to fight Frieza on Namek. And what it kind of reminds me of too, like these movies have that feeling of try to remember they were on Planet Namek, like that. Like that's what it would kind of remind me of. Like, but of course, Vegeta was in this movie. Like I said, um, he's actually, and I like his scenes as well in this movie. It's pretty nice, and just so awesome. I love this movie. I mean, I'll rewatch it anytime I wanted to. It's one of my favorite movies, Return of Cooler, and I actually like the music too in the movie. I mean, I think it's the same person that does Dragon Ball GT, if I'm right, because I think Android 13 has the same music, and I think Broly, the first Broly movie, it has a soundtrack in that one too, and I think it has I think BoJack and Bound has it too. So some of these movies actually have the soundtracks from has the art the person that does the music. I know in the show Bruce Falconer did Dragon Ball Z, but and talking about the movies, like some movies had soundtracks from other people, and or the other all that, and that's what I was talking about. So yeah, Mark Mensa did, I think, Return of Cooler, Android 13, the Broly movie, the first one, and BoJack Unbound. So so overall for Return of Cooler, I always loved this movie. Um, from beginning to end, it was a pretty nice movie to watch. All that, and it was pretty cool. I love Return of Cooler, and I give it a 9 out of 10. It's kind of weird in this movie. Dende is actually the guardian of Earth. That what makes it so strange. And in this movie, Gohan is still shown like he's still like a little kid, and he's supposed to be Super Saiyan in this movie. And then, because you see Vegeta as a Super Saiyan in this movie, then you see in the next movie Trunks is in the next movie. Actually, he's actually in the next one, and Gohan is still the size he was in the beginning of the Android saga. So that's what makes it so strange. So yeah. So next is actually Super Android 13. And of course, it's basically like a what if story, kind of. So like what if they that Trunks and Krillin did not destroy the secret laboratory that Dr. Gero had. So instead, you see a whole group of other androids. And it's kind of strange as in this movie, you see 17 and you see 18. And and no one doesn't know where they are or what they where did they go in this movie. Because you just see them. And all of a sudden you see a whole another group of androids destroying things. So it's like a what if. And of course I like Android 13. Um, and he kind of reminds me of the farmer, the not the farmer, the guy that was driving that truck, the one that Vegeta blew up in the Android Saga. And that's who he reminds me of. And I'm thinking, is that him? And now he's an android. So yeah, like it would have been cool if they do make Android 13 as a figure, but I don't think they will. But they should. I mean, because like the only Android 13 figure, they got little gashapons of him and stuff, but I'm talking like they only made a movie size figure of him. That's the only one they made. But yeah, Android 13 would be cool if they made as a SH figure art. I would definitely buy that if they actually did make him. But it's just that prices. That's the problem. The price just makes it so hard to get them. But yeah. So overall, as for this movie, it's like a what if story. That what if there were more androids, and that's what it was. And it's kind of like, what if they did not destroy that laboratory, and you see these androids in Dragon Ball Z? That's what the story would have been like. So, like I said, guys, no, I'm almost over about to get to the 1 hour mark. So I hope it actually will get hope the video will be fully long once I have it on YouTube and stuff. I hope it actually be the actual right limit. So that's what I will try to do. So, all right, so let's continue. So as the next, I forgot to rate the movie. Android 13, Super Android 13 is a 7 out of 10. Alright, next is Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, the first movie, of course. And this movie, it was uh, a mostly everybody's favorite movie. Of course, the original Broly that everybody loves so much. Um, So as you find out, there is actually a legendary Super Saiyan out there in the universe, and so as you see as Broly, So as Broly's intention is basically get revenge on Goku, and basically, everybody basically hate the whole storyline of reason why he hates Goku and all that stuff. Yeah, crying and all that stuff. But it's up to Goku and the others to stop Broly from destroying the universes and the worlds and everything. And that's basically what they will do. So as for this movie, I do like this movie a lot. It's actually one of the memorable movies to me always, and my brother always watched this movie all the time because he actually liked Broly. This movie of Broly, he didn't like the other two movies. He always liked this first one. Um, but like, I like when everybody tries to fight Broly. Vegeta, then Trunks, and Piccolo, Gohan, and it's kind of shocking in this movie. You see Gohan as a Super Saiyan, so it makes sense of they actually get the right accurate Gohan here. So this kind of makes sense. Just imagine if Gohan was Super Saiyan 2 in this movie. He probably killed Broly, and I'm always thinking that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Oh man, that would be pretty cool if he actually defeated Broly. But yeah. So that's why I always thought of that. Like, what if that actually happened? Like there were a legendary Super Saiyan. But it's kind of is what makes it so shocking about this movie anyway is that it's like it's set and during the 10 days of the Cell games. Because if Gohan's a Super Saiyan in this movie, and then you got Trunks there, and then you got Vegeta and Piccolo, all of them there. So that makes sense. It's probably set during that time frame. All right, so Broly Legendary Super Saiyan, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. The story point of Broly and everything in this movie was like it's not a great storyline. Even the new movie didn't give you a good storyline because, like I said, they just even though they tried to revamp him and everything, and you know, it it wasn't good. All right, so next is BoJack Unbound. So BoJack Unbound is actually the movie one is actually one of the ones I love to watch all the time as well. And as of course of this one, story of this one, Hercule decides to make a tournament, and of course, and yes, some of the sea fighters actually entered the tournament to fight to win the what money? Is it money? Yeah, money. Yeah, money. And as you find out that these galactic warriors that were free from the planet King Kai's planet because King Kai had them still inside his planet, and when his planet blew up, BoJack was released and he was unbound from the sealed. So it's up to Gohan and the others to battle against BoJack and defeat him once and for all in this kind of a tournament. So as this movie, it kind of reminded, yeah, it did the elements of the Android saga with the whole Cell games. And of course, mostly all the Z Fighters were there except, well, Goku for that one moment, that one punch. But But it's this movie. I always liked it. Of course, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, always my favorite moment in the Android saga. Of course, as like I said, Android saga is actually my favorite arc in Dragon Ball Z. And this movie, it was great. It was good. I liked the music, everything. It was a great movie to watch. So BoJack Unbound, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. And this one is actually canon because it's actually set right after the Android saga, right after they defeated Cell. So I'll say Dead Zone, Bardock Father Goku, Cooler Revenge, BoJack Unbound is canon to me, and Wrath of the Dragon. Okay, so next it is actually the sequel. Next one, Broly, Second Coming. As in this movie, of course, it follows that Broly actually survives and lands on Earth. That's during the time you have Goten and Trunks looking for the Dragon Balls and everything, and all that. And Broly is awakened and he's searching for Goku, of course, still looking for Goku. And Gohan actually shows up in this movie. It was Gohan, yeah, Videl showed up in this movie and everything. And they were looking for the Dragon Balls. So now, as in this movie, it's up to Gohan to save the Earth from Broly. So as this movie, I don't, you know, this movie is not really a bad movie. It's like I don't hate this movie. Like, okay, the next one, yeah, I can see that. But this one, only scene I liked in this movie was the ending. Of course, with the family Kamehameha. That was the only thing I loved in this movie. That whole scene. I mean, perfect scene. But everything else, it's it's not like oh yo, cause Trunks peed on Broly. No, I didn't really care for this movie. Even though, like, yeah, like I see the point of the movie. It's a sequel and everything, but it makes it. I guess why I don't really like it because that much. Where are the other guys at? There's no Vegeta. There's no Piccolo. Even though you saw a cameo of him for a quick second. Um, because the last time you saw Piccolo was in BoJack Unbound, the one I just talked about. So there's no Piccolo. There's no Vegeta. Goku comes at the end of the movie. That's probably why. Like I said, guys, when there's no Goku in the movie, even though in the BoJack Unbound there were scenes of Goku in the movie that I was watching, he was still there. But in this one, I guess because he only comes at the end of the movie. That's probably why I didn't really watch. I really didn't really care for the movie that much. I like, as like I said, I like the first one. Of course, everybody loves the first Broly movie. That makes sense why that one always be top tier, even though they re-released it in theaters a couple of years back when they announced the Broly, Super Broly movie. But this, is like I said, I give it a I guess I'll give it a 5 or 6. I guess a 5. But I don't really hate the movie. Okay, next movie I can't hate. Okay, yeah, in some ways I guess some people will say. Okay, Bio Broly. This one is set as I can kind of right as is. I think that one right there, the Second Coming, it kind of makes sense. It was set during the Majin Buu saga, probably right before Majin Buu showed up, before the tournament actually happened. Because, okay, did Goten and Trunks turn Super Saiyan in the movie? Yeah, they did. And Broly's Second Coming, yeah, they did. Okay, so Bio Broly as this one as someone took the DNA of Broly and created a whole new clone of him, and he looks like almost like a little like a monster, like a blob, like a creature monster or whatever like that, with all that on him and everything. And I mean, and it was. Ugh. Then you have in this movie you have Hercule, Android 18, Krillin, Gohan. No, there was no Gohan. He was in the flashbacks. Um, Gohan and damn, there was no Gohan. Shit, I'm getting confused. See, I'll tell you guys. Okay, Android 18, Goten, Trunks, Krillin, Hercule. Okay, yeah. So Android 18 wanted her prize money that she supposed to have got from Hercule, because of the tournament. And I'm thinking here is that this, if this actually happened, and I'm thinking of this movie. Okay, Goku is actually dead in this movie. He's actually dead. So as I'm thinking here, they probably had already defeated Majin Buu. Maybe they probably had, Majin Buu probably never got revived in this movie, and they probably had already stopped Babidi for reviving Majin Buu. Maybe, and yeah, so I'm thinking like this probably like they probably stopped Bobby from reviving Majin Buu and everything. That's why I'm kind of thinking of this movie. It kind of makes sense. But as the next one, of course, still a little to think around as well. But this movie a 4, okay? Bio Broly is a 4. As I don't, the whole movie made no sense to me. I mean, it's shocking. Broly had 3 freaking movies, and the second one, it it had points. It makes sense to watch. But this one, no, I didn't get it. It was just I think you know. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. Next is Fusion Reborn. So Fusion Reborn is a story. This one is that in the other world, a demon actually had messed up the energy of souls of the other world and basically create a whole monster named Janemba. As actually in this movie, Goku and Pikkon were actually in a tournament in this movie. Sorry, guys, my throat. I mean, I've been out here for a long time. Uh, actually, doing a tournament in this movie, and actually it released all the bad guys from hell, and they back on Earth, wanting to cause havoc on Earth again, and it's up to the heroes on Earth to stop the bad guys and everything and all that. Of course, as Goku and Pikkon go and save King Yama from Janemba and everything, and of course, Goku battles against Janemba. Of course, I love Super Saiyan 3. And of course, Janemba's design, the first design kind of reminds you of what kind of like Majin Buu. Then it kind of transformed. It looks so cool. It looks so amazing. And I like him with his sword. I mean, it's just so cool. I love Janemba. And of course, Vegeta comes and helps and everything, and it goes up to them to stop Janemba and save the other world and everything. So, what I think of this story here, I always thought that is it set if this is like an alternative ending of the Majin Buu saga of Goku and Vegeta in the other world? Because in the movie, Goku actually mentions to Janemba that Majin Buu was the first to let me take this form. And I'm thinking, what if Goku was still dead, or did he die by the spirit bomb after he used the spirit bomb? I don't know. See, because he mentions Majin Buu in this arc, and of course, Goten Trunks fuse get Gotenks in the movie. So, as I'm thinking here, it's like an alternated ending to the Majin Buu saga. And plus, Vegeta and Goku, Goku mentions to Vegeta, we can do the fusion in the arc in Majin Buu saga, and Vegeta didn't want to. And that kind of makes sense. Gogeta would have been canon. And technically, in reality, all they had to do is do this. And there's Gogeta. I mean, y'all act like, oh my god, when the Broly movie came out, they fuse. I mean, they could always do that. Dragon Ball GT. But, that's how I kind of realized that of them. Like, when they think of that kind of stuff and everything. Now, what I think what would happen and all that stuff. All right, so Future Reborn was a good movie. Of course, I give it a 9 out of 10. A great movie. I like the art style of this movie because it got the Dragon Ball GT elements of the movie. I kind of like that. It's kind of cool design how they looked in the movie and everything. It's just so cool. All right, so as the next movie here of the last movie of the Dragon Ball Z um, movies, because I wouldn't count Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, even though they used the Dragon Ball Z brand name. They will kind of will go fit with the Dragon Ball Super section. Um, Wrath of the Dragon, as it takes as the story of this one is that of a warrior named Tapion is basically cursed by a monster named Harunagarn that basically just almost destroyed his world and everything. And he was cursed by that monster and everything. And then, as he tried to get rid of them, release the monster, and so as yeah, it was kind of a trick because a guy that's like a wizard, I think, released the Tapion from a box. Use the Dragon Balls to wish uh, somebody out of a box to cause havoc on your world, and that's technically this movie, of course. And it's up to Goku and the others to stop Harunagarn and save the world. So, as this movie, I love Tapion. Tapion is my favorite character in this movie. He's pretty. I like his design and everything. He looks so cool with a sword. I mean, he's so awesome. And as you know, in this movie, you got see Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Videl, Goten, and Trunks. They were in this movie, and this movie is set after the Majin Buu saga because in this one, because Goku's alive in this movie, and Vegeta's there. So as you know, as the last movie, they were dead. So it's kind of like, see, I think Wrath of the Dragon is canon as well because it's set right after the Majin Buu saga. So that's why I kind of think that's where it will fit at. Okay, so Wrath of the Dragon, what I would give it, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I love Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and definitely love the Dragon Fist. I mean, awesome move. Um, I kind of like what he did in the Android 13 movie, and that's basically what they put in Billy Kai 3. They mixtured both of those moves together and made and did that. And that's what I like about this. Kind of cool if he actually did that in this movie too, but he did in that movie. But you know, so what I would give Wrath of the Dragon, 9 out of 10. It's a good movie. All right, so as you know, as now we can continue the story of now we continue with the movies. I meant to say, not story. Continue with that, and now we go to Dragon Ball GT. So Hero Legacy, as in this one, of course, is that it follows the story of a character named Goku Jr. and basically get him a story adventure in this movie of finding out about the Dragon Balls and go on an adventure and come across paths and discover something in the world. And that's what this movie was. That's the story of the hero's legacy. So it's kind of shocking they only made one movie for Dragon Ball GT because it would have been more. And plus, that'd be the next episode we'll be talking about Dragon Ball GT. So in this movie, I what I liked about this movie, I like how Goku Jr. basically wants as they want to discover things out there in the world and everything, and kind of like a character he kind of never thought he would be. And I always want to know who is his mother and who is his father. Because if Pan is his grandma, who is his father? I don't know. So, like I said, they never continued that. They never explained and all that. So, I don't really know. So, anyway, Hero Legacy, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was the only Dragon Ball GT movie. And I wish it could have been more for Dragon Ball GT. All right, so now I'm continuing the last three movies. They really, I'm just gonna get through them quick and possible, as now we're in the super section. So, Battle of Gods basically is a story. Is basically a brand try as they tried to say is a brand new Dragon Ball Z story, and that's what they were trying to say back in 2013, well, 14. Well, yeah, 14. And Falls is this brand new character named Beerus that wants to battle against a Super Saiyan God, a new form that we did not really know about, and leads to him discovering the power and want Goku to achieve it, and basically start a whole battle against him. And that's basically what it is. It's just like a battle of against someone that you don't even know. And that's basically what this movie was. And technically, it's actually a story element of a movie that did not really get released. Really, we did not really get the movie. It was called Yo Son Goku's Friends Return, and that's technically what the movie is basically a copy and paste of that movie. So Battle of Gods, I don't really care about the movie really. Um, do I hate it? Not really. It was Dragon Ball Z at the time, and of course, I think because when they released it, that's when they were going to cancel Dragon. That's when they, I think in 2012 or 2011, I think that's when they was going to cancel Dragon Ball Z Kai, and Kai was not selling that great really, and that's probably why they did not continue with it until 3 years later with the one they brought back. I think they brought back 2016, and and did the Majin Buu saga, and I think Kai was meant to not to came back, but really they just released it anyway. Like, hey, you guys, here's the rest of Dragon Ball Z Kai, but it wasn't really that great. No way, just a rip off of Dragon Ball Z. But but for this movie, it I just can't really, you know, like I said, guys, I don't really care about the movie. I really don't. So a six, you know, I don't really care about it. All right, next is Resurrection F. Basically, it's just a rematch for Goku versus Frieza. It's basically a rematch. So as stories as somebody as someone landed on Earth and took the Dragon Balls uh, to make a wish and use the Dragon Balls to wish back Frieza and everything. And basically, it's a rematch. It's basically a revamp of the Android saga in the beginning. Instead, you don't got King Cole, you got just Frieza. And that's technically all it is. And it's like there was no Trunks. So technically, like I said, it's just like, remember that in the Android saga? Let's just revamp it and redo it and have Goku killing Frieza. And that's technically what this movie was. Even though Vegeta really had killed Frieza, but in reality, like I said, it was not a good movie, no way. And technically, this movie basically what made me like, what the hell, really? And like I said, that's Battle of Gods. Like I said, I didn't care for Battle of Gods, but when I saw this, even though I didn't watch both of these movies, True, I did. This one I don't really care for. And I mean, well, this one I don't really like at all. That's what I meant to say. So, like I said, it's a five, and I don't really care about Resurrection F. It's just like just a story of want to repeat something that you did before. And technically, if you realize that Battle of Gods is basically Goku versus Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga, then this is the Frieza Saga rematch. Get it? And the new movie is basically Android Saga, but yeah, it's kind of like you want to take elements from each of those arcs and make it a movie. And that's what they're trying to do. All right, so Resurrection F is a five. Okay. Next, we got the last one here on this video now is the Broly movie, Super Dragon Ball Super Broly. So the story of this is, as they try to retell the story of the Saiyans and try to retell the story of how Planet Vegeta was blown up and everything, and basically learn the story of Broly. So, as you know, it's different in this one. Of course, they try to retell and retcon everything. And basically, as the story of this movie is basically Broly wants to. No, not wants. No. It's basically a fan request idea, and they want a whole battle fight with Goku and Vegeta versus Broly and Frieza. It's like a stop motion idea that any of those guys I know on YouTube would do. And most of them all did that. And I'm not lying about that, am I not? So that's technically what this whole movie was in 2019. I mean, I remember, I remember like, I made a video about I'm going to stop motion Goku fighting Broly and everything and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, dang. I mean, even though some people said this movie was a success, but really, yeah, it was a success until the voice actors tried to take down someone and make up a lie, and did all of that to him, and did all that for nothing, and basically try to ruin his whole career. I like other stuff that Vic actually did in other animes. He actually did other voice acting in other shows that I actually did watch. But yeah, I'm just not watching because of Broly. I like him because of Broly. No, he was good in other stuff. So that's what this whole movie was. It was a stop motion idea, and fan fan request and fan made story. That's all this was. Even though I was so surprised this year they said Super is not canon. I was like, whoa, damn. I'm sorry. I didn't I was surprised when they said that shit. But what it is, what it is. So Broly movie, the fighting was good. It was cool with the special effects and the fighting and everything. And the only thing I hate is the little stupid songs they were throwing in, like Vegeta, Vegeta, and all that dumb shit. It was so stupid, stupid. It would be cool if they used the old songs from the old shows, but I don't know what they should have. But it would be pretty cool. But it was good fighting and all that stuff and all that, and yeah, flashy colors and everything. But story and point and everything, not really there. It was like there were no other characters around at all. Like there was no Gohan, there was no Piccolo, there was no none of them. It's like it just these four people. Like you just have these four action figures, and they're fighting against each other. That's basically what this movie was. And that's what I kind of see it as. So yeah, so Dragon Ball Super Broly, a 6. Oh, so guys, yeah, my voice is getting tired now, as you guys kind of hear. I've been on it for an hour. I hope it records well, like, and I hope it does. Well, I can, oh man, been on here for a long time. So hope you guys enjoy this whole video. I'll be talking about the movies and points and everything. And, you know, like I said, guys, like, I just talk about the story points and everything. Like, oh, what they did in the movie and all that stuff and all that stuff. But, like, my favorite movie, favorite movies out of the Dragon Ball movies, of course, as that'll be Path to Power. I like Tree of Might. I like Return of Cooler. The first Broly movie. BoJack Unbound. Fusion Reborn. And Wrath of the Dragon. So those were my favorite Dragon Ball movies from the series. Let's see. Yeah, those are my favorites. But like the other movies, like like the other movies they released and everything, like because they're not there, because I did not say them or pick them as my favorite. I don't hate them. Like I said about Bio Broly, yeah, that I kind of makes sense why I said what I said about that one. But I don't really, like, oh no, this is trash, this is bullshit, this is stupid movie, and all that crap. No, I don't do that. Like I said, even though if you realize, like, I only watch those movies, and plus those movies are actually still useful to watch. I mean, I still watch them. I mean, I'm not hating on them. That's how those guys are. They praise something of today and hate on the old stuff. That's what they do. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I know it's a long video. I hope it's there when I fully upload it. And next episode of the My Thoughts on the Dragon Ball series remastered will be Dragon Ball GT. That's the next episode. Episode 4 will be Dragon Ball GT. So, yes, that'd be next. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check out the first 2 episodes, of course. And I'll try to do more on this channel here, and do more discussions and talk about stuff and do all of that. And that's what I'll do on this channel. That's what this channel will be. And I will be trying to get me a vlog camera soon as well. I want to get me a good camera and everything, and because I'll probably talk about it in my live stream on TBZ. I'll talk about it soon on that video when I make it. So you probably already see episode 24, probably out already, maybe by that time. So I probably already said it in that video or whatever. I don't know, because when I record videos and and I'd be like, oh, did I say it in that video or the other video? And yeah, I keep thinking like, oh, when did I say that? And I don't really know. So, hope you guys enjoy this one. See you guys next time, and peace.